Good afternoon, Matrix. Today we're going to look at the topic of presentation and data response. This falls under business ventures, which will come up in a paper 2. It is the fifth topic in paper 2, presentation and data response. So the first thing we're going to do in this video is really just give you an overview of what the content or what this topic really entails. So the first thing is when we look at presentation, they really want you to be able to identify, discuss, and explain factors that must be considered when you're preparing for a presentation. But what's important here is that they want you to be able to discuss these factors thinking about before the presentation, during the presentation, as well as after the presentation. And in fact, when we talk about after the presentation, we talk about feedback. So really we want you to be able to explain how to respond to questions about the work and the presentation, handling this feedback in a non-aggressive and a professional manner, even if it's asked of you in an aggressive manner. So the other thing we want to look at the after stage is how could the presenter have improved on the presentation that he or she gave. The next thing that we look at is the data response. And here we're going to need you to be able to discuss or explain how to design a multimedia presentation. For example, you have to start with text and content. You've got to select the background and what colors are you going to use. Are your images relevant? How will you go about creating graphs? When will you use graphs? Then you're going to have to give examples of non-verbal presentations. So these are things like different types of graphs, as well as scenarios or written reports, anything that is non-verbal where you're not speaking. And lastly, we're going to look at visual aids. We're going to look at explaining all the different types of visual aids that exist, whether it's a PowerPoint or it's an overhead transparency or it's a video that you are showing. And then you need to be able to give the effectiveness of the use of that visual aid in that particular scenario. So they really do like you to be able to advise or recommend any areas for improvements on these type of visual aids too. I hope that has given you a good outline of what this topic is going to be about. Have a good day.